being called an infringement of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, and today in court, advocacy groups challenged the Ford government's Bill 7 that moves elderly patients who cannot go home from hospitals to long-term care facilities to free up those beds. The problem, say advocates, is patients can't always choose where they go. Kelly Botello has the details.
He should never have left the hospital, but I was told he had to.
Gail Herrington's husband, Rick Pinto, had emergency hip surgery in January of last year. But after the procedure, his health unexpectedly deteriorated. According to her affidavit, 3 weeks later, Herrington was told by Ajax hospital staff that her husband had to leave the hospital.
I was literally forced to sign the paperwork because they said I couldn't take him home, so he has to go somewhere else. So I signed off on that, and within a day or two, they said he's been accepted, so we're going to put him in a holding hospital.
Pinto died from sepsis while being cared for at the transitional hospital about 2 months after his surgery. The Ontario Health Coalition and the Advocacy Centre for the Elderly argue that Bill 7 removes the choice of where these patients will spend their final days. The groups say while they may no longer require hospital care, that doesn't mean these patients should be forced to live somewhere they don't want to, or be made to pay $400 a day to stay in hospital.
For many people, this is the last move of their lives. And if they're moved to substandard long-term care homes or homes that can't provide the care for them far away from their loved ones, it shortens their lives.
Premier Doug Ford was asked about the bill and the charter challenge today.
They're being taken care of much better on a long-term care home than a hospital. Hospital is not the place to drop off your mother or your father. They may not get their first choice, but they'll get their second choice, then they'll go on a list to move to their first choice.
The Premier saying people are dropping off their elderly parents at hospitals.
How would you do that? Man, I'd never do that to my parents.
The Ontario Health Coalition says the government is fueling a narrative that elderly people or their families want to stay at hospitals, when that's not the case.
Mostly people would like to go to either home or to a long-term care home, but they just don't want to go to the one that they're trying to be forced to.
The charter challenge continues tomorrow. Kelly Botello, CHCH News.